Harry and Meghan have been quite bullish in the last couple of weeks. I want to get your take on this. There was a People magazine article that kind of got lost in all the state visit news last week, but they're suggesting that they are kind of really carving out a new role. That Australia is obviously now a blueprint for the future, and I'm wondering whether you think, like Harry and Meghan, have possibly, there's been accusations that that they are kind of overstretching themselves, that they've gone rogue, they're rewriting the terms of Megxit. What direction do you think Harry and Meghan are heading in at the moment?
Well, let's set the record straight here with what's actually happened in terms of the fact that they spent the last 5 years writing books, sort of going through the tumultuous, horrible childhood of Prince Harry and how the family, totally ruined him, and how, Camilla turned his old childhood bedroom into a wardrobe and how traumatic that is, and the punch up between him and William, and or sort of the physical fight, let's just say. That's one of the best-selling books ever. You've got the Oprah interview where they went and slated the entire royal family, calling it racist, or racism exists within the palace, going and trashing all that. And now they want to come back in. Now they want to have this one foot in, one foot out royal deal, which the Queen absolutely decried and did not want to happen for good reason. I mean, yes, the Australia trip went well on paper because they're very popular in Australia and it was well done, but there were some mistakes that were made, be it small. Meghan showing up to a site where a terrorist attack happened and then putting her outfit for sale on a site, basically profiting off people's trauma, in my opinion. There were many, many faux pas that happened, but this wouldn't be the end of it all. I think if they continue to do this, they will actually destroy the legacy of the royal family by cheapening it. They're basically selling off what they can. I just think it's egregious.
The clothing thing I'm uncomfortable with. The idea that she goes to a hospital and hugs a sick child, and then there's actually a button that you can press to buy her outfits, and then Meghan makes money off it. I'm a little bit, I can't quite get my head around that. It does seem a little bit distasteful. But it feels like there has been some little steps over the last couple of years where they have got closer to becoming a half in, half out royals. Have the royal family taken the eye off the ball? They've been busy with the state visit.
Well, there's nothing the royal family can do about it because they are not part of the senior working team of the royal family. This is the hybrid role that Harry sincerely believed was on offer to him before the Sandringham summit, where he says it was taken off the table. And they said service is universal. That this is the hybrid role that they wanted, with their business interests and their money making in California, but then going on the odd tour. He was here in September, of course. Did a week of engagements in September, which was really
And it felt like a royal visit,
and
Simon.
It was look at what you're missing, because he's really, really good at it. And he still doesn't believe that there should be one or the other. There can be a hybrid role, and that's what he's doing.
Should the royal family... Sorry, Samara.
No, I just think that a hybrid role means making more money. Yes, he's good at it, but we know that Meghan and Harry want to make money from this ordeal. That's what it's about.
I think
all their business
they're
ventures.
unapologetic about it. This is what we're hearing. This is the way they're moving forward. They're saying that this is what they are saying. They are saying we will make money from our foreign tours. And my point is, should the royal family step in and say, you shouldn't be doing this, this is wrong?
It's a good point. I mean, I think they're out of control. They're out of the control of the royal family. What can the king do? I mean, genuinely, I think obviously when William gets into power, he will be much stronger on making sure that they do not do this to the legacy. But unfortunately, I don't think the king has the chutzpah to be able to put the foot down here.
I don't think Charles nor William can stop them doing it. I mean, you're right. They're not out of control, but they are out of the control of Charles and William. They're doing what they want to do, and nobody can tell them otherwise.
The problem here is that these royal tours, as we've seen with what happened in Washington with Trump and the King, that was a highly, highly confected, but in a good way, tour where every single minute was planned to a T. unfortunately, since they've basically privatized the royal process, that is going to be planned by someone else, be it a PR team that actually won't be thinking about the diplomatic nature of these trips, won't be thinking 15 steps ahead, like all these great royal aides and people who work within the palace. And that is a recipe for disaster, in my opinion. I think, yes, Australia went well, but if they're planning to do this on an ongoing basis, there is going to be something very bad that will happen, some horrible thing that Meghan will do where they didn't think about what the implications would be. Harry might go somewhere that's unsafe. It is a real problem for the royal family to think about. But you're right. I don't know that they'll be able to grasp control of the situation.
Well, the King's had a lot on his plate. I still give him so much credit for what he's done. He was still working hard when he's been treated for cancer, and we had good news in December that things are heading in the right direction. Around about the same time, he was sorting out Andrew, kicking Andrew out, getting rid of his titles. Is he leaving the Harry and Meghan situation alone and maybe leaving it for William?
Well, maybe. I mean, I don't think there's much that... we don't know how much contact there is between Charles and Harry anyway. We're pretty sure there's nothing between Harry and William. Yeah, Charles has got enough on his plate. He loves Harry. He wants there to be reconciliation there. But I don't think he's in a position, or he wants to tell Harry what to do. In terms of the foreign tours, I don't know how many they're going to do. Maybe one a year, maybe two a year.
No, I think it's going to be more.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that genuinely, we had Bronte on the other week who spent a bit of time with them down in Australia, and she was giving quite a lot away. She was like hinting that this is the direction that they are going. And I just wonder whether the palace have been concentrating so much on this state visit, so much on Andrew, that they've taken the eye off the ball. Montecito.
I think it's easy for me to say, it's all about the money, it's all about the money. Of course, I mean, they have to recoup their brand. Their brand has not been great the past 5 years. They need to use the royal family to leverage themselves off that and make sure that they can sell their products and sustain their lifestyle and their massive security bill and their mortgage and all that stuff. The issue is that all their decisions are going to be driven by profit. And that is a really, really bad thing in the long term, because they won't be thinking like the royal family does about actually the legacy and building on that. It will be about, how can I make my next 100,000? Oh, would you like to go talk at this conference? There are some really dubious people funding it, but oh yeah, the money, I'm going to go for that first. And I think that's where the issue lies here.
We're going to be talking about other members of the royal family money later in the show, isn't it?
Well, I do wonder whether Meghan still has a sort of political instinct of eventually, running for office in California, maybe. I mean, I wouldn't rule that out. I think
she's too thin-skinned because anyone criticises. Imagine when you get criticised when you're a politician.
You never know.
I just want to say, last time a royal went after the money and didn't think about the consequences, it didn't end very well, let's just say.
I think you're talking about Andrew Mountbatten Windsor.
Yes, potentially.
Yeah, and maybe Sarah Ferguson. There was an article, I think I saw on a Substack this week, there's an article from someone who used to work at People magazine saying that the Sussexes are running low on money. Or that he'd spent most of Diana's inheritance. But Meghan is making money, if we're led to believe. They are, they do have businesses. So we're going to have to, if they run out of money, that's the problem, because they come back to the king, or they have to sell stories about the royal family again.
Yeah, it's a lot of jam to shift in order to pay for their we say they have businesses and everything, but it's reported that yes, Meghan made probably about 6 figures from that that Coogee Beach getaway in Sydney. In Bondi, and I don't think that's enough. They've got huge amounts of expenses to maintain their lifestyle. They've got billionaire friends to keep up with, and I think a lifestyle brand that Netflix has cut off is not going to be anything to sustain that. And I don't think Harry's making that. He's going to property conferences in Canada in order to get a couple of $1,000. So I think it is looking rough.